The Bakersman Collective presents.
So, Biden.
Ooh,
Biden.
Joey B.
My man.
That dude's bugged, yo. Tone deaf, man. Very, very tone deaf.
Just yes, that is an excellent way to put it.
I'm so over, like, I've been inundated with the amount of bullshit that's currently going on during this pandemic. Like it's like the pandemic scare and craziness, and then everything else everyone wants to do. Right. And this is like, my dude, really? You, like, no one sat in the room. You have all this fucking time because y'all can't go nowhere or do nothing else. And this is what the fuck y'all decided on. Did you speak to black people? Did you speak to stoners?
Did you speak to anyone? Point blank, period. Because the fact is, the way that this is worded, and it's supposed to be for black people, and something that you include is weed, that's very tone deaf. Because white counterparts smoke just as much, and the older age groups, our white counterparts smoke way more. So I just think it's really funny that, like, that's how you decide to, like, work something like this in. Like, I don't know, it's weird to me. The wording is weird.
So that's a shit show in and of itself. But it's like you were saying, it's the pandemic and then everything else. Like, these are our options. You know what I mean? And it's the type of thing that this bill is the bare minimum to show that he's better than the opposition.
That's what it's designed to do. Basically, you have to appease a wider array of audience so you get a large Democratic vote. Like, you have to, like, hit the key things that they were asking you about and they've been challenging you on. So here's something.
Exactly.
Here's a little fluff.
And it's just it goes back to, like, how tone deaf it is, because they're just like, well, appease them, fuck it, while we're worrying about this other big thing. And it's like, clearly it's a very separate world that we're living in. So, like, not only are you saying, well, black people smoke weed, so here's something for you, let's just make it legal,
let's
right?
appease the black people. Let's make weed.
All right. Okay, cool. But, bro, you're responsible for the drug crimes. Like, what are you saying now? Like, are you saying that in your old age you got wiser, that you didn't know the impact of the laws that you helped create would have on the community? So now you're being nice to us and you're giving us weed? Is that what you're do you think, like, we can't rewind the tape and see where you started? You know what I mean? Because you hung out with a black president, you now understand black people. Now I'm wondering, like, will this shit work? Are people really gonna fall for this shit? Thank you to Leafly for this article. They, like, put all the details, the nuances that folks need to understand about why it's so stupid of him to drop it the way he did. Because you know what you should have done, Mr. Biden, Mr. former Vice President Biden, Joe Biden? You could have just said, I'm sorry for what I've done. And I know you may have bullshitted, but you could literally accept the responsibility of what impacted the community of color, and then say, here is a bill that I sat down and wrote with people of color to make amends. You could have just taken these steps. There's time for it. There is time for it, but he's showing where that priority is. You know what I mean? Because, like, he's not doing it for us. He's trying to appeal to what he thinks is going to get him the presidency, which isn't us. He thinks that and not even us anymore. I changed my license, so I actually can't vote anymore, even though I am a U.S. citizen. He's not catering to us. He thinks he's got us in the pocket because he hung out with a black president. And because he, like, you know, we call him Uncle Joe or whatever.